I think it's important that we learn to honor all the things of our past that made us who we are. And so I've decided I'm going to make a YouTube video dedicating my life in Denton to the future and how I came here to gain something which was a huge amount of knowledge. And honestly, when I look back at it all now, it doesn't even seem like it was the books that brought me knowledge. It was the internalizing everything I learned into myself. And I feel so light right now. I'm at actually my favorite place in Denton. On the TWU campus, there is a chapel. This is the chapel. I have been inside this chapel many, many times. Sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes before work. After a fight with someone, I have been in this chapel. This chapel has been my saving grace. And wow. And so this is where we be. You know, Denton has definitely made a really big mark on me. I love this place. I love Denton to death. I'm happy and sad to be leaving it. So, Denton, you're awesome. So, I know that some of my opinions come off very strong, and I want to make sure that I fully divulge how I really feel. One of the greatest things that's ever happened to me was that my mom took us to church when I was growing up. You know, we went to church. We were a Saturday night going church. We did Sunday morning, but in my early childhood, but somewhere around 9, 10, Saturday night became an option, and my mom was like, sign up. Right, because we get up early every single day. We'll have one day a week we cannot do that. It was great. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what day your church day is. If your church day is Thursday, it's your day. But we went every Saturday night, and I also went to church on Wednesday evenings for youth. And I went to, church camps and weekend trips, and we did some volunteering stuff sometimes, and, all kinds of things that were related to sharing the Spirit with other people. I'm so thankful that I was raised like that. It was because we were a spiritually based household that I moved forward into what I am now, which is, I would just call myself an Omni Spiritualist. I think there's an actual word for it, but I believe in the necessity to understand everything around us. If you were to go to school, it's impossible to get a degree and to take only classes for your major. The first, I think 60 credits that I had at UNT out of 100, I have 178 or something. My first 60 credits were all core classes. I had to take English and math and science and psychology and all those things that make it more well-rounded, right? I feel that way about spirituality. The Bible is a huge aspect of how I look at the world. I have a lot of grounded morals in Old Testament stories. I love the Old Testament. I think it's wonderful. I know it's under old law and like people like went to hell and all that jazz. I don't necessarily believe in that. I think, to me, you know, if you were to ask my grandfather, what happens when you die? He would literally just look at you and go, you're dead. Like, he doesn't believe in an afterlife. He doesn't believe in heaven or hell or any of that. He just believes that it is what it is, your life is over, and you're moving on to nothing. That all your wisdom that's part of you is now in the people who you met, you know, that still hold on to the values you taught them. That's where you go. If you were to ask my mother, she believes in heaven and hell. She believes that you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you go to heaven. If you don't, well, you're going downstairs. My dad claims to be a Christian, but he's really more of a Buddhist. I think he just says he's a Christian because he was told to say that, and he doesn't go out and look for anything else. He just believes what he was told to. But I mean, all his actions and the way he looks at life are very Buddhist. He's a Buddhist. And my grandmother is a witch. Here we are. I'm telling people on YouTube, my grandmother's a witch. Okay, she is a spellcaster. She very powerful witch. And so having those 4 different aspects of my life, you know, nothing, witch, Christian, Buddhist, those 4 things, you know, here I am, the result of all those things. And I've learned the importance of accepting everything for what it is and learning what it is that you're meant to get from it and move on. You know, for example, when I took classes that weren't related to my major, that had nothing to do with my college degree for dance education, I learned to take small lessons from those classes and I apply them to my day-to-day lives. Lives? Let it be. And so, should you be going to church? Yeah. Should you be going to church? No. Like, they're both true. You know, some people need that. Some people need to be surrounded by other people with the same beliefs as them to make them feel grounded in their own beliefs. And that's part of gaining confidence through time, is that we surround ourselves with people that are like us, because it brings confidence and this underlying ability to practice what it is you preach without someone else telling you to. And for me, I feel like I've evolved past needing someone else to validate me, because I don't need the validation anymore. You know, I've kind of grounded a lot of my own personal beliefs, and they are that there are different dimensions of us, that we have dimensions above ourselves that resonate to higher ideals, and that we get stuck inside of the day-to-day demonic things, you know, having nice possessions and having certain friendships and relationships, and we get stuck in those beliefs sometimes that we need those things when really we don't. We don't need perfect friends. We don't need a relationship. We don't need nice things. It's nice to have them. It's wonderful to have those things because they provide a sense of pleasure and a sense of ease and a sense of luxury to our lives. But ultimately, all we need is air, water, food, and thought. And I'm still not sure how I feel with the food. Sometimes I really do wonder, if I stopped eating, would I really die? Like, if you really believed you weren't gonna die and your body could function on like way less, I think it's a thing. I do not have the life right now to go and test that theory, because I've set myself up to have certain jobs that make money. And guess what? When you skip meals for long periods of time, your body has a bit of a reaction to it. But someday I do plan on diving into that. You know, people have gone on like 40-day fasts and they live. Like, yeah, you lose a lot of weight and you look real skinny, but sometimes it's like this is my facial expression, obviously, is showing you what I'm about to say. I cannot count the times, I'm sure I could, inside my subconscious, the number of times people have told me, you are so thin. I've been thin since birth. Like, well, it's not true. I looked a little tubby for like the first year of my life, and since then it's been rail thin. And I tell people in response now, because I used to be like, oh my God, I try so hard to eat, and I work out, nothing happens. Whatever. I just tell people now, it's a lot of work to carry around all that extra weight. Like, yeah, I could gain 15 pounds of muscle and look a certain way, but it's not doing me any good. So it's just me wanting to impress others with, oh, look at my masculine body. Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. I'm like, I can get everything I need to get done, and as a dancer, I have, a lot of high energetic tricks that must be performed, and I'll be honest, doing some of those tricks with 15 more pounds, I don't know if I want to. And so I'm going to leave you with this. Everyone's life is as it is. There is no point trying to figure everyone else out. Figure you out. Just you. Just figure yourself out. And if you figure yourself out, you won't want to figure out everyone else. Like, the days that I am completely grounded in who I am, I have no desire whatsoever to figure other people out. I'm just like, oh, she's like that. That's it. No judgment, no condemnation, no assessment. Just, she's like that. He's like that. That child's like that. That cat's like that. That plant's like that. They just as they is.